You ever see something weird on your body and just think, meh, it'll go away? Just a little bump, not hurting anybody, right? Would you ignore this? Here's the deal. That tiny bump could be syphilis. Yeah, the old-school, scary-sounding disease no one talks about. But it's still around, and it's sneaky as hell. Syphilis doesn't knock on the front door. It walks right in, messes with your body for years, and when it finally says hello, you're already in trouble. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what you don't know could literally mess up your brain, your heart, and your life. Sit here with teenagers. Real talk, real health, no judgment. Before the first symptoms appear, syphilis has already invaded the body. The incubation period lasts anywhere from 10 to 90 days, but the average is 3 weeks. That's right, syphilis could be silently lurking inside you for weeks before you notice anything. Syphilis is spread through skin-to-skin contact with a sore, usually during sex. It can also be passed from mother to baby during pregnancy. Unlike many other STIs, syphilis doesn't need penetration to spread. Oral sex, kissing an open sore, or even touching an infected area can transmit the bacteria. Real story: Jake's overconfidence. Jake, 27, noticed a small sore after a one-night stand. He figured it was just an ingrown hair or a minor irritation. He Googled his symptoms, convinced himself it was nothing, and ignored it. The sore vanished after a few weeks. See? Nothing to worry about, he thought. But 2 months later, something strange happened. Red rashes covered his hands and feet. Jake thought it was a bad reaction to laundry detergent or maybe a weird allergy. He even tried changing his soap. But then he started feeling constantly exhausted, running mild fevers and experiencing strange muscle aches. By the time he went to the doctor, syphilis had spread throughout his body. Lesson learned: if something appears and disappears mysteriously, get checked. Let's get this straight. Stage 1 was the warning. Stage 2 is the ambush. At this point, syphilis isn't just sitting in one spot. It has spread through the bloodstream. It's infiltrating your skin, organs, nervous system, and bones. What happens in Stage 2? Your body starts fighting the bacteria, but Treponema pallidum is tricky. It doesn't just attack in one place. This is why symptoms are all over the body, not just where the initial sore was. The immune system tries to fight back but often fails, letting the disease progress. Here's the part that really makes syphilis dangerous. The symptoms in Stage 2 come and go. People think they're getting better, but the bacteria is just regrouping for its next attack. Secondary syphilis symptoms look like a bunch of random health issues. That's why it's often misdiagnosed as an allergic reaction, the flu skin irritation, a viral infection. Stage 2 usually starts 4 to 10 weeks after the first sore. If you missed the first warning, this is when your body really starts showing signs of trouble. Common signs: rash on hands and feet, the most classic symptom, but not everyone gets it. Mild fever and chills, like a seasonal cold that never fully goes away. Swollen lymph nodes, a sign your body is trying to fight back. Sore throat feels like a mild case of strep, but it lingers. White patches in the mouth can be mistaken for oral thrush. Patchy hair loss. People notice bald spots in their beard, scalp, or eyebrows. Fatigue and muscle aches. Some mistake it for exhaustion or aging. The worst part? The rash doesn't itch or hurt. It's easy to dismiss it as dry skin or random irritation. Biggest mistake. Many people ignore these symptoms because they come and go. Scary fact: this phase can last for months, and syphilis is at its most contagious in this stage. Real story: Sarah's misdiagnosis. Sarah, 32, was healthy, active, and lived a normal life. One day she woke up with red spots on her palms. She brushed it off. A week later, she felt run down, like she had a mild cold. Then came the sore throat, and the mild fever that just wouldn't go away. Her first thought, allergies. Her second thought, maybe stress from work. So she went to her doctor, who gave her antihistamines. They did nothing. Months passed. The symptoms faded, so she assumed it was nothing. But 4 years later, Sarah started having vision problems. When she finally got tested, her syphilis had reached her nervous system. Lesson learned. If something doesn't feel right, don't just guess, get tested. Why do people ignore stage 2? 1. They assume it's something else. Oh, I probably just need more sleep. Oh, it's allergies. Oh, maybe I'm just stressed. 2. They wait for symptoms to go away. Oh, because they actually do disappear, but syphilis doesn't. 3. They don't get STI tests. Oh, many people don't think about syphilis when they feel sick. Biggest takeaway. If you're sexually active and you feel off, get tested. Even if your symptoms go away, syphilis isn't gone. It's just waiting for the right moment to strike again. If you don't treat it, syphilis enters the latency phase. No symptoms for years. People think they're cured. Meanwhile, syphilis is quietly attacking. By stage 3, syphilis is no longer just an infection. It has become a full-blown internal attack on your body. At this point, the bacteria have spread everywhere, silently destroying major organs, bones, and nerves. Stage 3. Symptoms include severe nerve damage, causes paralysis, numbness, and chronic pain. Brain deterioration, leads to dementia, confusion, and hallucinations. Heart complications, weakens the arteries, increasing the risk of aneurysms and strokes, blindness, and hearing loss. The infection attacks the optic and auditory nerves. The worst part? These symptoms can take 10 to 30 years to appear. This is why so many people ignore syphilis for decades, until it's too late. The 3 deadly forms of late-stage syphilis. 1. Neurosyphilis, the brain killer. Neurosyphilis is when syphilis invades the brain and spinal cord. It starts slowly, memory problems, confusion, mood swings, but then it takes over. Signs of neurosyphilis. Severe memory loss. Patients forget names, places, and even how to perform basic tasks. Paranoia and hallucinations. Some believe they're being watched or hear voices. Slurred speech and trouble walking due to damage in the motor cortex. Seizures and strokes. Syphilis weakens brain blood vessels. Real story. Tom's tragic fate. Tom, 45, started forgetting things, where he put his keys, names of coworkers, even conversations he just had. At first, his family thought it was just stress or aging. Then he started acting paranoid. He believed his neighbors were spying on him and refused to go outside. When he finally saw a neurologist, his MRI scan showed severe damage from untreated syphilis. Lesson learned. If he had treated it early, this never would have happened. 2. Cardiovascular syphilis, the silent heartbreaker. Syphilis doesn't just destroy the brain. It also attacks the heart, making arteries weak and vulnerable to rupture. How syphilis damages the heart, weakens the aorta, the main artery that supplies blood to the body, increases risk of aneurysms. Sudden ruptures can be fatal, causes heart valve failure, leading to congestive heart disease. Real story. Daniel's sudden collapse. Daniel, 52, never had heart problems. He was active, healthy, and didn't smoke. But one evening while playing with his grandkids, he suddenly collapsed. At the hospital, doctors discovered his aorta had an aneurysm. The cause? Late-stage syphilis. Lesson learned. By the time heart complications appear, treatment is almost useless. 3. Gummatous syphilis. When your body self-destructs. In its final form, syphilis creates large, destructive sores called gummas. They can appear anywhere, on the skin, bones, or even organs. Symptoms of gummatous syphilis: flesh-eating ulcers, large open wounds that never heal, bone destruction, weakens the skeletal structure leading to fractures, facial disfigurement. The bacteria can destroy the nose, eyes, or jaw. Real story: Maria's nightmare. Maria, 61, developed deep ulcers on her legs that wouldn't heal. At first, doctors thought it was diabetes or rare skin disease. But when her jaw started deteriorating, they realized it was late-stage syphilis. Lesson learned: if Maria had been tested years ago, this never would have happened. By now, we know that syphilis can be deadly if ignored. But here's the good news. It's one of the easiest STIs to treat, if you catch it early. But the biggest mistake people make? Waiting too long to get tested. The longer you wait, the more damage syphilis does, some of it irreversible. That's why early detection is everything. Catching syphilis early means a simple cure, but waiting, that's where the nightmare begins. Early detection can stop syphilis before it spreads, prevent long-term damage to the brain, heart, and nerves, lower the risk of passing it to partners, save lives. Scary fact: 1 in 5 people who don't get treated in time develop life-threatening complications. Biggest reason: people don't get tested. They think they don't need it. They don't notice symptoms. They're afraid of the result. But here's the truth: getting tested is faster and easier than you think. A quick blood test. That's all it takes to find out if you have syphilis. How it works. 1. Visit a clinic or healthcare provider. 2. Get a blood test or a swab if you have an active sore. 3. Results usually come back within a few days. Simple, confidential, fast. Does it hurt? Nope, it's just a small blood sample. No painful procedures. No long waiting times. Morale of the story? There's no excuse not to get tested. 1 shot of penicillin. That's all it takes to cure syphilis if caught early. How symptoms go away after treatment. Sores heal within weeks. Rashes disappear within days. Internal damage stops spreading. Fact check. Early-stage syphilis, show ya 1 shot of penicillin. Late-stage syphilis. Multiple doses, but still treatable. Simple, fast, life-saving. The catch? The shot kills the bacteria but doesn't undo permanent damage. If you wait too long, syphilis can still leave lasting effects on your body. Lesson: don't wait. Treat it ASAP. Real story. Lisa's close call. Lisa, 29, had been sexually active for years but never got tested because she felt fine. One day, her boyfriend mentioned getting a routine STI check, so she went along with him. She was shocked when the test came back positive for syphilis. She had no symptoms, but the bacteria had been inside her for months. She got a single penicillin shot and was cured instantly. Lesson learned: if Lisa had waited, she could have ended up with severe health problems. Routine STI testing saved her from stage 3 syphilis. The takeaway: if you're sexually active, get tested, even if you feel fine. Protecting yourself isn't just about you, it's about keeping your partner safe, too. Top 5 Ways to Prevent Syphilis. Get tested every 6 months, if you're sexually active. Use condoms. They help, but don't eliminate risk. Know your partner's status. Don't assume. Ask. Don't ignore symptoms, even small ones. Get treated immediately. The earlier, the better. Fact check. Half of all new syphilis cases come from people who didn't know they had it. Getting tested regularly is the #1 way to stop the spread. Let's recap. Stage 1, a tiny sore that disappears. Stage 2, rashes, flu vibes, maybe a little hair loss. Stage 3, blindness, memory loss, nerve damage. Not to scare you, but if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Here's the thing. Syphilis is curable. One simple test, one antibiotic shot. Boom, done. No drama, no damage, no regrets. The real danger, not knowing. Check yourself, protect yourself. Get tested, get treated, tell your people. And if you're still watching this, that means you care about yourself, your health, your future. So do the smart thing, get tested. And hey, don't gatekeep health info. Like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing the truth unfiltered. Don't wait until it disappears, because it always comes back stronger.